Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Audible. Let Audible expand your life by listening. Explore over 1 million audiobooks and exclusive Audible originals that'll inspire and motivate you all in one easy app. Tap into your well-being with advice and insight from leading professionals and experts on better health, relationships, career, finance, investing, and more. Maybe you want to kick a bad habit or start a good one. Sure. Either way, I love listening to these titles on Audible. Yeah. Right now, what I'm checking out, number one is Evil, E-V-E-L, about Evel Knievel, and The Red Ripper, about Chikatilo, the famous Russian serial killer, and it is really detailed, really interesting. Good listen on both of those, and there's so much more. I'm listening to like 12 things at once right now on Audible. I love it. Get advice and insight from leading professionals and experts on health, relationships, career, finance, investing, and more. There's so much opportunity to learn and more to imagine when you listen. Start listening today when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a delicious dog food, Ollie. If your dog could talk, they'd want Ollie. They'd ask you for Ollie. That's what I'm talking about. It's a fresh, whole food diet. It's not just delicious. It can add like years to your puppy's life.
Yeah.
You want that good, healthy food that's more tail wagging. And this is real food. Like, this stuff looks good. I'd eat it.
Yeah.
That's how I was like, this looks pretty good. I might sit down with you on the floor and we could share.
That is nice to be able to pop something down on the floor for him that looks like something that you'd put over rice or whatever and eat it yourself.
That's what I mean. It looks great. All you need to do, you fill out their 30-second quiz that Ollie has for you. They create a customized meal plan based on your puppy's weight and activity level and health info in general there. You get expert recommendations. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/STM. Tell them all about your dog and use code STM to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/STM and enter code STM to get 60% off your first box.
Now back to the show.
Hi, this is Steve Buscemi. You know, the actor. Well, now I'm an actor and podcast host. From Piece of Work Entertainment and Campside Media, in association with Olive Productions, comes Big Time, an Apple original podcast. Each episode follows the story of one misfit with big dreams who isn't afraid to bend a few rules or take a shortcut to get there.
Well, who steals bees?
I was duped.
I shoot you in the leg.
This is Big Time. Follow and listen on Apple Podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay, and choo-choo.
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you so much for joining us on another insane 10 pounds of murder in a 2-pound bag edition of Small Town Murder Express. Again, we have another crazy episode for you this week. Big shocker. It's crazy stuff. So before we get to that, though, just want to tell you about, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. What you're going to get there? Well, first of all, you get merch and everything like that. But tickets to live shows are the important thing. The 420 virtual live show, it takes place on April the 19th. You can watch it anywhere in the world with internet that you want.
Shit.
Just like a regular live show, the murder story, the pictures, everything like that, except you're in your living room or wherever you want to be, and we are where we are, and we're going to have costumes, and we're going to have a crazy story. I'm going to force Jimmy to smoke out of different things that'll scare the hell out of him. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. So get your tickets for that. And while you're there, if you're in the Chicago area, get your tickets for Chicago in May.
Yeah.
St. Louis is sold out, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for us, but unfortunately if you want to go to it. But Chicago, still some tickets left at the Riviera. Get those right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, the rest of the year, if you want to go to a show, get the tickets because they are selling out. There's half the shows for the rest of the year are sold out. So definitely get in there and do that. Thank you, everybody who's bought tickets already. You also certainly want to get your hands on Patreon. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports. That's where all the bonus material is there. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get hundreds of episodes that you've never heard before. Back episodes of bonus stuff immediately upon subscription. Good binging stock there.
Yeah.
And then you get new ones every other week, including this week. You get one Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all, everybody. Anybody $5 or above. So for Crime in Sports this week, we're going to talk about the 2000 the Spanish Paralympic team. Where none of them were actually disabled, or very few of them were, and shocker, they won gold. So it's interesting, and there's some other scams we'll talk about in there.
Right.
And then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about the craziest documentary, one of the craziest stories I've ever heard, American Nightmare. It's a documentary on Netflix, and I read the entire book on it, too. You'd think it's a fake kidnapping. The cops accuse these people. You think it's a Papini situation, a Sherry Papini, but then it's not, and then maybe it is. It's the craziest thing you'll ever hear, and the least believable possible thing is the truth. It's crazy. We'll talk about that and more. So that's patreon.com/CrimeInSports. That said, I think it's time to do this, everybody. Right. Let's get into this. I think it's time to sit back. Let's all clear the lungs, and let's all shout, "Shut up and give me murder." Let's do this, everybody.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we? Yeah. We are going somewhere we do not go very often. No? We are going to Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't go there very often because there's like 500,000 people in the state. So there's way less murders just in volume, and it's just hard. So the people are pretty spread out, too. So the murder rate's pretty low there. It's just one of those places. You got to find someone to kill them. They're miles away. It's really difficult. We are going to Powell, Wyoming, which is in northwestern Wyoming, up there in the corner by Montana and all that. It's about an hour 35 to Billings, Montana. That's the closest city, I suppose. It's about 5 hours to Green River, Wyoming, which was our last Wyoming episode. This is episode 584 right now. That was episode 410. So that's the last time we've gone to Wyoming. It's been a while. That was The Longest Night, which was a crazy love triangle story that was insane. Population in this town, 6,385, and it's a college town. So
so they leave.
That's including the students. So there's really not a lot of people there.
A lot of people leave around springtime, around summer.
Oh, man. And it's cold in the winter here, as you can imagine, in northwestern Wyoming.
Yeah.
This is in Park County, area code 307. Median household income here, a little lower than the national average. It's $60,210. Median home price, though, is a little bit high, $356,800. So, yeah, it's a little pricey here. There's a lot of Wyoming seems to be very pricey, which there's so much land and so few people, yet it's expensive. It's the strangest supply and demand. It completely flouts the rules of supply and demand economics.
And there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. That's the other thing. Unless you're wealthy and a skier, there's nothing there.
Yeah, and want to stare at mountains.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're wealthy enough where staring at mountains for months at a time is like a activity for you. A little bit of history here. Large fires took over the community, obviously.
Is that right?
Like every other town. February 12th, 1915, a fire burned down at least 9 businesses before finally the people extinguished it. This is how they extinguished the fire, by setting off dynamite. They blew the fire up.
They blew the fire up.
That's the craziest. That's how crazy the West was. They're like, there's a fire. We'll blow it up.
We got bombs?
We tried shooting at it. That didn't work. Just try dynamite next. I don't know. Shit.
Just throw dynamite into the fire. You ain't even got to light it.
We threatened to hang it first. That did nothing. We shot at it. Still blazing. I think blowing it up will work. That's amazing. So the resulting explosion broke all the windows of all the businesses that didn't burn down. So either way, so then they formed a fire department and purchased a new alarm bell and all that kind of thing. Then they replaced it with brick buildings, which that happened finally. That'll do it. That'll get rid of the fire. A couple reviews of this town. Just a few here. Here's a 5-star. I love living in Powell. It's a quiet town, which is exactly what I need in my life. What have you been through?
I need a quiet town in my life.
Jesus, this person. I'm just shaking with nerves all the time. The people are kind, and living here is extremely beneficial for my social anxiety. There you go. I have extreme sensory overload issues. Wyoming's the place for you if this
if you're a human Chihuahua,
this is
need to be there.
This is Jesus. I've never seen so much controversy over the Chihuahua comment. And there's so many people from the Northeast going, I don't understand. That's just how it's said. What are you talking about? If you'd like Southern people, I can pick out a couple of words you say completely incorrectly, and we'll talk about them repeatedly for a fucking week and a half. Okay. Because there's a couple. We pronounce things terribly, but come on now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a slur that they created just by mispronouncing. So
yeah. So here's a 3-star. Powell is a wonderful place to live. The town has a very small town feel. The people here are nice, and there is beauty surrounding us. Summers or winter are beautiful, but winters can be brutal. Summers or winter, I just said.
Summers or winter. But
summers or winters.
Can be brutal.
And finally, 2 stars. Small town, only few stores. It is great if you prefer close community. Nothing open past 11 p.m. Not much to do for college students either. No Walmart or shopping.
Yeah.
Not even a Walmart.
College kids like to go. Nothing is open past 11.
Nope. It's only 30 minutes from Cody, however. Okay. Things to do here, the JWP days.
Right.
Okay.
Powell.
That's it right there. Wesley Powell, whatever the hell. There's activities for both children and adults. This fun-filled afternoon is packed with all sorts of activities. For example, activities include a bike obstacle course, and adults 21 plus can make their way to the beer garden for refreshments. Okay. Yeah. So to clarify, this is still a day for family friendly. Then that's what's fun here. And they have a bike parade that night.
Yeah.
Then they have an award ceremony. Okay. The award ceremony is for those who participated in the bike to school and bike to work events. So here are the prizes. Those who bike the most to school. That's you get a prize for that. You biked the most.
There's only so many days you can do it.
It's fucking Wyoming. In 3 feet of snow, it's hard to take your Huffy over to the school at that point.
Yeah.
So, but if that's not for you, you know what you can do? Just wait until 9 p.m. because they're going to be showing Rad, the movie.
Oh,
the 80s bicycle movie.
Oh, is it bicycles?
I think, it says it's end your evening with the nostalgia of a drive in the movie, or of a drive-in movie experience with the favorite 80s cult classic coming-of-age BMX movie, Rad. The story of a young man, Crew Jones, who has the intensity and desire to win a BMX race called Hell Track. Bring the kids. They'll laugh at it. It'll be hilarious.
His name's Crew?
Crew, C-R-U, Crew Jones.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a murder, everybody. What do you say? Okay, here we go. Let's talk about a young lady first here with a cool name. Her name is Berry, B-E-R-R-Y.
Really?
Berry. It's her full real name.
Wow.
Berry Alexis Bryant. So Berry Bryant here. She's born March 21st, 1978. So it's the first day of spring. Look at that coming. Yeah. So
is Bear Bryant at Alabama at that time?
78. I don't know if he was still. That's the kind of the edge of that. I think he was probably gone by then.
I wonder if there's something with that.
Bryant's a pretty common last name.
But Bear.
Berry?
Bear Bryant.
Her name, Berry Bryant. Yeah. Her mom calls her Strawberry. I really don't think they named their daughter after Bear Bryant.
I want
it just really that's as big a stretch as you could really do. Berry is such like a feminine name too, and you're like, what? I think it's Bear is what they're going for.
You want to pay homage to Bear.
That's the strangest fucking. So she's born in Lewiston, Montana. They stayed in Roy, Montana. They lived in Plummer, Idaho, and then finally to Riverton. That's where they moved in 1980. So in her first 2 years of her life, she lived in like 6 different places.
But they're all mountain towns of that area.
Yeah, all that northwest area there. She has a brother, Ryan, that's about 2 years younger. And her moving around is explained by her mom, Sharon, here. Sharon said, I married a man who groomed me for marriage and took advantage of me. It took me, I don't know when they got together. She doesn't say that, but it took me 7 years to leave him, and I barely got out with my life. It had gotten to the point of kill or be killed. So
that's all
whatever
negative.
Was.
Yeah,
it seems like they were like running from this guy or something, trying to get away from him. She said that her husband, I think it's Barry's father, I'm not sure, had worked hard to isolate her and make sure she didn't have any resources at her disposal, making it hard for her to leave. Abuser shit, So after she got away from her husband, she returned to her hometown of Riverton, where she said, I guess I relaxed. I felt I was safe in my community and my children were safe. So mom did all she could to get her kids away from a terrible guy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That's a good mom. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
She could have stayed and let her kids then be abused for years and years by this fucking guy. So a little bit about Barry here. Barry is an explosive personality, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean,
she's fun.
She is all energy all the time, got a lot going on, and like in high school, she's involved in like every activity. I would be exhausted doing any one of these things. Just the amount of energy you'd have to do school and this. She played saxophone in the jazz band, which right away sounds like that's tiring. Just a lot of blowing and a lot of...
Those instruments, all of them are crazy.
You got to do that up and down movement over and over again. Like
I don't know how people play
Marvin
those
Gaye.
Instruments. Your mouth goes fucking numb.
Your lips are fucked up. It's that's a whole separate. That's a whole lifestyle you got to get used to there. And she ran track and cross country. In her freshman year, she placed 11th in the state in the 4A cross country meet. So
that's pretty good.
She's pretty good. And she graduates in 1996 from Riverton High School. So that's the era she's in high school. She was also in the 4-H club. She did, like we said, cross country, regular track, not just cross country. She did the music saxophone stuff. She did the drill team. And the free steppers. I don't know what that is, but
don't look at me.
I had no clue. I didn't do activities in high school. She won a bunch of awards and honors. She was a Riverton High School Student of the Week, and she was selected for the Who's Who Among American High School Students group from some magazine. So
she's just doing the most high school of everybody.
And somehow she has a million friends and has a big social life and all that. I don't even know how you'd have time for that. You'd get home and be exhausted. So
she actually has a high school career, man.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, this is so the opposite of my high school career, which
She's
was
the most professional high schooler I've ever heard of.
It's what her life was like: be at school as much as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas I think our experience was get out of school as soon as we possibly could in the day.
That bell rings. I want off campus immediately.
And maybe a couple classes short of that even. I'm going home, and I ain't coming back till tomorrow, so...
As everybody's watching the clock count down, I want to be gone already.
I'm already gone, yeah. Going, those suckers. So...
Idiots. I want to smell like cigarettes before then.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke half a pack before this idiot gets out of biology and learns how bad this is for me. So... Big personality, lots of friends, always laughing, very gregarious. That's the best way to describe her. Her mom says she remembers that she would have belching contests with her, Barry, and Barry's best friend would have belching contests. So she's a fun girl. Yeah, she's a fun chick, man. Wow. That's fun. In high school, I would have liked her. You know what I mean?
I'd be impressed that they found two that can do it.
Yeah, like you two are awesome. This is her mom says this, or a friend of hers, I'm sorry, said this. She had a nickname for everybody, and they weren't mean nicknames. They were nice and they were funny. And she said she just was that kind of person. Gave everybody, makes them feel special by addressing them, something about them that's, shows you're paying attention basically here. Right. Her mother describes her as an ordinary, all-American girl. Yeah. And then she says, this is a wild quote, her mother has a bunch of she's meaning them as compliments, and she loves her daughter more than anything. But they come across in black and white as kind of backhanded a little bit. Uh-huh. She says, quote, she wasn't the smartest, the prettiest, the fastest, or the slowest.
What the fuck, man?
What the hell does that mean? I mean, that doesn't... I know that she's just trying to say she's just a regular kid and all that, but the way it's said, and when you read that on paper, you're like, Jesus. She wasn't the smartest or the prettiest or the fastest, but, good kid.
I don't know why she had to throw the prettiest part in there. What the fuck, man?
That's what I mean. You had to throw that in there to the prettiest, really? She then said she wasn't superhuman, but she's a super person. Okay. So it's like saying, like, almost like I don't want her to think she's special or anything, but she's a good person. But don't think you're doing anything special there.
All right.
That is a wild fucking, man, that's a rough run there. So she got a bunch of recipient of several small scholarships after high school and a grant. She wants to pursue a degree in fashion merchandising.
Oh.
So that she chooses to go to Northwest College in Powell. Okay. Northwest, not Northwestern, Northwest College in Powell, which is a 2-year college. It's a junior college, essentially.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's like a community college because they have dorms and shit there. Oh. So it's a stay-in college, but it's also like a 2-year deal. So
get the fuck out of here.
I guess junior college would be the only way I could put it, or like a specialized.
Just a minute.
Yeah, they
then get out of here.
Probably have specialized programs. So yeah, she when she went to college, she said that her brother Ryan said that he remembered taking her up to college, and she had so much shit packed. There was 2 cars stuffed full of her shit, and they were bickering about it and everything like that, which is kind of funny. She gets into college here. This is early September 96. She shows up at Northwestern in Powell, and she's involved in the jazz and the concert band program. She joined the home ec and ski clubs. I mean, she was like, what can I do? So she's out of her shell. There is no shell to come out of. Her shell she left it long behind, before the first belching contest. Her shell was way gone.
That's in homeroom freshman year. That's where that shit's at.
Yep, gone. So October 4th, 1996. Here, she's been in college a month, and she's already has a million friends, and everybody knows her. She's just that kind of person. So that night, she's going out with a friend of hers named Jessie, a young lady, i.e. So they're going out to a dance, which turns out to be kind of a boring little. Okay. Kind of breaks up early, not really much going on, nothing popping at the dance. So then they hear about a party at the dorms. So they're like, all right, let's go to the dorm party. Yeah. So they do. So Barry and Jesse go to this dorm party, and there's a bunch of other students there. It's a lot of people. It's a party. So there's an acquaintance of theirs, both Jesse and Barry there, named Levi Collen, Collen. He's at the party too. Now, he has, for the last couple months, kind of been sweet on Barry. I mean that on purpose, pun intended. Yeah. He's been sweet on her a little bit. He's been, just kind of has a little bit of interest toward her. Hasn't overtly asked her out or anything like that, and she hasn't overtly rejected him. He kind of pursues. She kind of demurs a little bit and doesn't really respond to it. So that's what's been going on, a little cat and mouse for the last month or so. So anyway, they go to this small party in a dorm, and she's having a couple of drinks, and she was having, this is the fun part too, this is such a college kid thing to do. She was trying a bunch of different mixed drinks, like a sip of each of them, to see which ones tasted the least like booze. She was trying to find her drink. That's hilarious.
She's trying to get fucked up and like the taste. She's the original girl looking for Zima.
She's looking for, what's 96? There was plenty of Zima. And she's looking
aiming at.
She's looking for mixed drinks here. What's my mixed drink of choice that I'll drink for the next 20 years because it disguises the taste of alcohol, which is such an 18-year-old thing to do. First month of college, these are the things you need to work out. You know what I'm saying? Need to work out a system in case you're fucking in the room with your roommate. You need to work out what your drink is.
I like to be fucked up. What's the one that doesn't taste like I'm getting fucked up?
Yep. So now this Levi guy here, Levi Todd Collen, he's about 6-8 months older than her, but he's born in 77, but still, same. He just got to college too. Okay. Now that summer, Colleen had attended a 4-H junior leader conference. Wow, she's ambitious. Yeah, or Colin did. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Colleen, I just said. I meant Colin. Colin attended this. He was there, and she was also there, too. Berry was there.
Yeah.
So they both also attended the Wyoming State Fair in Douglas as well. So they've been running into each other at places before school, and now they're in school together. Yeah. Now, Colin here comes from, the 10 Sleep area. That's a town. It's
10 Sleep?
10 Sleep.
Oh.
10 Sleep, like 10 nights, I guess, or whatever. This, by the way, is such a small town. Wait till I tell you about how many people are in his graduating class and shit. It's bonkers. So anyway, he was the captain of both the football and basketball team.
They could organize both teams.
And homecoming king.
Okay.
So he, this is a kid who can do it whatever he wants in this town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's the king of this town, essentially, here. I found
Wasn't
a bunch of...
homeschooled, huh?
No. There's a school there.
Okay.
That'd be fun. It's just me and my two little brothers. One's 6 years younger, one's 8 years younger, and my little sister, she's 5. And I'm the captain of the football team.
I'm the captain.
And a homecoming king. My little brother was picking his nose during the ceremony. I knew I had it right there.
That's not winning votes. That's gross.
That's going to lose you a couple of votes. So I found a bunch of newspaper clippings about him in the paper. A last-second shot by 10 Sleep's Levi Collins sent the game into overtime for basketball. He led the team with this many points here. Here's one where he had 10 unassisted tackles and 11 assisted tackles.
Wow.
He's played middle linebacker. He's not a huge guy either, so that tells you the football team as well. Yeah, he had do you know how many kids were in the graduating class?
No, but I hope you tell me.
6.
How do you field the team?
Every boy in the school is on the football team.
Yeah.
And a few girls, too. That's, that's whatever. You would need them just to fill by, even if you don't play.
Yeah.
Like, listen, kid, I know you don't want to play football, but we can't have a team unless you just put a uniform on and stand on the sidelines. We have to have enough people.
We're using the practice tackler as the front line because we don't have enough people.
That's all we got. We can't even practice. We got to do like 4-on-4 practice drills. So there's an article that says Colin took on many leadership responsibilities within the 6-student graduating class. Well, yeah. Okay. He rose to the top of that big pack there. If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. Isn't that what Sinatra was singing about?
That's what he said, yeah.
Oh, Christ. In some cases, they said he took other students under his wing, one of his classmates said, and encouraged them to participate and do their best in school activities. Everybody's got to know each other so well. There's 6 people in the entire graduating class.
I mean, just encouraging them to participate, that's easy because we need
you have to. Yeah. I'd like to play, so you have to play. So he got in a little bit in trouble in high school. He was cited twice for illegally possessing alcohol as a minor. Kid shit, drinking beer or whatever. No other contact with him at school. He's very well regarded. One kid said, more than once I was able to call his parents, and this isn't a kid, this is a teacher, and say that he had made excellent choices about how to handle himself. Right. It's such a small school that if you do something nice, they call your parents to tell you about it, to tell them all about what a good kid you are. Imagine that.
My mom would have loved at least one of those calls.
One just to, no, not calling, just, not in trouble, wanted to say, what a good guy. So
what did he do now? Good things.
Good. Wow. Okay. Yeah, my dad would have been shocked. He would have been mad because all he ever told me was just make it so nobody calls me. That's all he ever said to me in school. Don't get in trouble. Don't get such bad grades they call. Yeah. Just fucking
show up.
Show up and keep me out of it, basically. So, yeah, he would have been probably annoyed with that. Why are you telling me this? So he's not in trouble? Why are you telling me this? Great. Click.
Can't you send a letter? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Send a fucking plaque or something. I don't know.
He did great. Give him a fucking award then, for Christ's sake. Maybe he'll continue it. He's a fuck up. Give
him a fucking a nice guy badge or something, a congeniality badge. I don't know. So Levi's into him here, or into Berry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So during freshman orientation, when they were both there, Levi saw her in a dorm lounge and told the kid behind or next to him, quote, I'm going to get her.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna get that one right there, and so that's a thing. So he's had his eyes on her here. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our safest sponsor, Simply Safe. The days are getting longer. We got longer daylight hours, which means you might be spending more time away from your house, which gives burglars more time to rob your house. That's what happens here. FBI crime data shows that break-ins are more likely during daylight hours than at night, actually, which you don't think of that. But you need to protect your home with Simply Safe's proactive security that helps stop threats before they even happen.
Right.
We love Simply Safe because, number one, they're great. The alarms are great. The cameras are high quality. I love the fact that they can tell somebody and yell at them to go away from your house, and they can call the cops, right? And it's easy to install. I was so worried when we first got it. I was like, I'm not going to know how to do this. It's super easy. They have installation if you need it, but you can do it. If we can do it, you can do it. Visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. That's Simply Safe, SIMPLI safe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Yes, and now back to the show.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. Our exclusive snack sponsor, IQ Bar, is the better-for-you, plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash.
These things are amazing. My daughter loves them, and it's so hard to find a snack that a child will eat in the first place. And these have nutrients that are good for your brain. She takes them to her volleyball game and feeds them to her teammates, and they all love them. They have so many different flavors. They're amazing.
Yeah, IQ Bar's totally free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners for a natural snack. Try any of their 9 delicious flavors, including mint chocolate chip, chocolate sea salt, banana nut, toasted coconut chip, lemon blueberry, and peanut butter chip. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products.
Terrific.
Plus, get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text small town to 64,000. Text small town to 64,000. That's small town, one word, to 64,000. Message and data rates apply. See terms for details.
Now back to the show.
Now, just about a week to 2 weeks before this night, so, mid to late September, Jesse, who's Barry's friend, recalled an excursion that they took into the countryside it's her and Barry and Levi, the three of them in a car. Yeah. Okay. Now, she thought she was just being paranoid here, but she said something was weird, and she just kind of like he seemed very amiable and real nice guy on the surface, but there's something below the surface that makes her uncomfortable, Jesse. Yeah. Apparently they were cruising around. Barry's driving, Barry behind the wheel, and Levi had just made he just out of nowhere, they weren't talking about sex or anything like that. He just turned and said, "I bet you're still a virgin," to Barry.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jesse was a bit offended that he would bring this up, because they're not that close. They just met each other, and I don't know. So she just took it as a little bit.
I don't know, Jesse. I wasn't asking you. So calm down.
Hey, Jesse. He's looking in the rear view. I'm seeing right now. Jesse, I asked? There's a reason you're in the back seat, sweetheart.
Shut the fuck up.
No interest, honey. No. So she thought that was a little bit weird, and I think in this part of the country too, it's a little bit different than where we grew up in different environments than that. So. These are nice people. You know what I mean? What do you want?
Whether or not we'd be asking, you wearing panties right now, actively.
Right now.
We were dummies that put them on the spot way harder.
So I was jerking off last night, right? I had a good fucking stroke going too. I'm telling you right now. This wasn't any I wasn't thinking about it. I was fucking running toward the goal line
right now.
So anyway, Jesse was offended, but Barry, she said, didn't let it bother her at all, didn't give it a pause, and just told him that she sure was and was proud of it too.
Oh.
So, she's not
none of your business. Good for her.
She said, "Yep, that's right. I'm proud of it, motherfucker." Yeah. So, Jesse said it just made her skin crawl, she said. Yeah. She said that just his smirk on his face wasn't just something. And it's vibes. Listen, ladies, vibes, if you get a vibe like that from a guy,
Oh, God. Yeah.
don't be around
Trust
him.
it. Yeah.
Trust it. Even if it's wrong, who fucking cares? If he makes you creeped out, that's not going to be your soulmate anyway, so who gives a shit? Fucking
Clearly, you don't like that guy.
yeah, don't give him a chance. You don't need to. So, and vice versa. If you sense guys, you sense the crazy vibe, fucking run.
Get out of there.
So I'll
before
get
she
the hell out
backs
of there.
over you.
You see a little Casey Anthony twinge in her eye, you go, I got to get away from this lady. Go. So Jesse said that she grew increasingly uneasy the further they got away from town. She just felt that Levi was up to no good, so she asked Barry if she would take her back to campus, which Barry did. Turned around, dropped her off at campus, and that's that. So, yeah, she just said she just felt uneasy with the guy, which it's a vibe. People get a vibe. Sure. So back to the party, back to the dorm party now. Barry excuses herself to go to the bathroom, which is down the hall. It's one of those shared bathroom situations, which is a good reason to not go to college. So that would have kept me away from college, and even if I had
Good
the grades and the
reason to do that
desire,
shit online.
yeah, I'd have been like, I'm not sharing the bathroom with other people. I'm not dealing with your shit and your shit and your shit. Nope.
So I come here and get yelled at by adults who think they're better than everyone, and then I go back to my room where I shit where he shits. I'm out.
I'm not
done.
doing
and
that.
He
And
him,
her,
her.
all of them. Nope. Don't think
I'll
so.
be at home.
I don't
gonna
trust
get a
anybody to keep this tidy. Yeah. So then Levi, after Barry leaves, turned to Jesse, because Jesse's here, and said, hey, think I got a chance with her?
Oh.
I really still looking to hook up with her. And Jesse says, no, you don't. You have no fucking chance with her. I'll tell you right now. He said she just broke up with a long-term boyfriend before she came to college. Mm-hmm. And, she said she's not going to be dating anybody for a while. She wants to get into school and deal with school and friends and activities and shit. Very healthy is what she's doing.
Yeah, also, she just broke up with a long-term boyfriend that clearly never had sex with her. So you got zero chance.
No sex. Yep.
That guy put in a lot of work.
Small town long-term boyfriend. How many dinners did he have over the house and sat out on the porch with mom and all this bullshit? Yeah, and he got nothing. So you should keep on walking. So he said, come on. He said, why don't you can hook us up? He says to Jesse, you're a friend, hook us up. You know what I mean?
Put in a good word for me.
You can, talk her into it, basically. She said no. She told me she doesn't want to date anybody. I leave her alone. That's it. So that's all. So she turned away from him, started talking to somebody else. Now, at some point, he slipped out of the room. Levi does. Now, all we know is that he left the room, and someone ends up seeing Barry and Levi leaving the dorm parking lot in Levi's car.
Together.
So somehow he slipped into the hallway, caught her when she came back from the bathroom, and talked her into going away from this party.
Okay.
And she didn't even go in and tell her friend she was leaving. She just left.
So it was like
Which
a
is
temporary
interesting.
thing, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I would think is it's a quick thing maybe or something.
Yeah.
If she's leaving the party for the night, she'd tell her friend, I would assume, hey, I'm taking off now. But
I'm going
they
to
went
pick
out
something
together.
up, come with me. Some story like that.
Yeah, traditionally when you go out with someone together, if you're going to split up, you tell them what you're doing. Yeah. So she didn't know this, though. The friend wasn't paying attention. And then after a while, she goes, I don't see Barry. Where the hell is she? And so she, doesn't know where she is. She stayed behind. She thought Barry was coming back. Jesse ended up going back to her dorm room and I guess she's not coming back after a while. At about midnight, Jesse gets a phone call. It's from the RA, the resident advisor, from Barry's dorm. And she said, hey, have you seen Barry? Mm-hmm. I know you guys went out tonight, but she hasn't come back yet. And, just wondering if you've seen her. So Jesse said, I haven't seen her. She was at a party and then she disappeared. So Jesse goes out, gets out of bed, and goes and looks around campus for her, and then went with the RA to the parking lot to see if Barry's car was there. Okay. And it is, but she's not there. None of her stuff's in it. It's just, her car's in the parking lot. So they're like, all right. So she didn't leave in her car. So then they call her mom, Sharon. I mean, yeah, you don't want to just get like a flight of fancy to do something fun because they're going to be calling your mom 2 hours into it. That's rough. You know,
At midnight.
Yeah. Like Jesse better hope something's wrong with Barry. Otherwise, Barry's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? I finally get a little freedom. You're calling my mom at 1 a.m.? What the hell? So Sharon hears the phone ringing, and she said she knew something was wrong before she picked it up. And she learned that her daughter couldn't be found. And she said, holy shit. So she hung up and she called every hospital within a 100-mile radius of the place. And she said that no one fitting Barry's description had been admitted. She asked, 18-year-old blonde college girl. No, okay. So Jesse also had checked the local hospital before the mom even called, and Barry wasn't there. So Jesse was very worried too. Right. So yeah, she's gone. No one knows. Now Levi ends up returning to his dorm after a while.
Okay.
He returns to his dorm, and when he shows up, he's wearing clothes that are covered in blood.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely. They were called blood-soaked clothes. Covered. Yeah. I mean, not a couple of spatters.
Tie-dyed.
Dude fucking took a dip in the pool of blood. Yeah, like, not good. It's early morning, middle of the night, whatever. So he convinced that he has 3 dorm mates, and they said, what the fuck happened to you? Jesus Christ. You look like Carrie right now. What's going on?
You're coming in at murder o'clock with blood all over you.
Covered in head to dripping blood from your fucking hair. So he said, I was in a serious fight with a guy. I got in a fight with this dude.
Dead ass serious, yeah.
Like, for real serious. He said my knife, because he carries a knife all the time, and he said, I got to stab the guy. It was a real fucking affair here. So they helped clean him up, get all the blood off of him anyway, and, help him change and everything. And then he said, my knife is back at where I got in this fight. I dropped my knife.
Okay. Yeah.
So he said, will you guys give me a ride out there so I can go get my knife? And they said, yeah, that's fine. We'll drive up to where you got in this fight and wherever that is. So on the way there, they're talking to him. Well, who'd you get in a fight with? Because, you'd want details of that. If you're that covered in blood, whose blood was on you? You know what I'm saying?
We got so many. How did it happen?
So in the car with these 3 guys, he says, well, yeah, it wasn't exactly like I said it was. It was, it was kind of a fight, but, it wasn't with a guy, and, it was actually with a girl. And eventually, after a few minutes, the story goes from I got in a fight with this dude and he tried to attack me and I had to stab him to I raped and murdered a girl.
Holy, get out.
So, no, not get out. These are good fucking dudes, actually, here. They fucking tackle him and restrain him and fucking drive somewhere to call the cops.
Great.
Yeah, they absolutely want nothing to fucking do with this. Like,
nice.
When it was a guy and you got in a fight, we'll help you out and we'll cover your tracks or whatever, but not you raped and killed a girl. Yeah, literally immediately, like somebody punched him and tackled him and they were like, fuck that, we're getting you arrested. This is crazy.
Great.
So now the crazy thing is the cops had already heard about Levi. This isn't like 5 a.m. the thing with the friends is happening, but the cops already know about Levi because the county prosecutor was going to bed at night when the police called to let the prosecutor know that they were speaking to a college student who was covered in blood and said he'd been in a fight with another male student and may have killed him. Because they take him to the police station and they're like, go in there, motherfucker. And he shows up and
tell them your story.
That's his story. He shows up and goes, yeah, I got in a fight with a dude and I'm afraid I may have killed him. But then they hear, because Barry's reported missing, so they hear from other people that as soon as she's missing on campus, everybody starts talking. And the person who saw him, Barry and Levi, leave the parking lot calls the police and tells them about it.
Great.
The friend who was standing next to him during orientation when he said, I'm going to get that one right there, he called the cops and said, I know a guy who was real interested in that girl. And everybody was, this place is a snitch central, man. These motherfuckers... no one will keep your secret up here. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's good because he's, obviously not a good guy, but man, you don't want to let anybody in on your
don't fuck up
bullshit up here, boy. So at first they sit him down and he says, listen, this guy was just, coming at me and I had to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? As he goes on, one of the cops will say later on, this guy was just completely dispassionate about what he'd done, totally unrepentant. And he is, too. This guy is a dangerous motherfucker, because we find out, by the way, because they look into him a little bit while they're, while he's sitting in the interrogation room waiting to be talked to, they're looking him up and figuring out who the hell he is and, what kind of angle they can take on him. And it turns out he's been accused of sexual assault before, more than once. This about a month before this at Northwest College, he was accused of sexual assault, but was never charged. Yeah. They report that he had been investigated for allegedly fondling a female student at his grade school as well, but he wasn't charged in that case either. Like, in high school. So the college officials, with the assault from a month ago, college officials determined that the alleged victim wanted to cooperate with authorities, and then they encouraged her to contact local law enforcement officers, and she did, and underwent a rape examination and everything. Then the college ordered Levi in writing to stay away from the woman that he allegedly had assaulted and to stay out of her residence hall during the course of the investigation. And they said he apparently complied with the order even after the investigation was completed, and they never filed any charges against him for some reason.
What the fuck?
And that was a month ago. Now, the mere fact that he was being investigated for this, you'd think would be a deterrent to do more. But this just emboldened him.
Yeah. If not a deterrent, at least a warning that we're watching you, motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. A deterrent meaning I'll get caught if I keep doing this. They're looking at me.
Yeah.
It's a small town. It's not like you're in fucking Philadelphia or something. Like there's a lot of
I can't believe they couldn't do anything.
No charges, and it was a month ago. But I guess it was over. Like they weren't like still ongoing.
It was done.
So anyway, he tells them, listen, self-defense, I stabbed a strange man in self-defense, and that's all there is to it. So they said, well, Levi, that doesn't really match up because your face, hands, and forearms are covered in scratches. How long were this guy's nails?
Right.
I've been in fights with guys. You've been in fights with guys. None of them ever really scratch you up like that. It's not really part of the game.
And if they do, there's just like
in a street fight. Yeah, because it's an errant one or something on your forehead. It's not 4 fucking fingers digging into you and ripping your skin off your forehead. Yeah, that's very different there. So they said that doesn't fit with you getting in an anonymous street fight with some dude. Yeah. Like that just doesn't work like that. They said it looks like someone was trying to defend themselves from you, and I'm not sure that I don't think you were the guy trying to defend yourself, basically. Right. So they said, listen, we don't think you're telling the truth. You're full of shit. Yeah. So he says, okay, fine, I killed Barry.
Whoa.
But it's not what you think it is.
No,
what
do I think it is?
You think I'm a monster and I took her out there to kill her. That's crazy. Right. No. Yeah, that's exactly what we're thinking. You got it, Levi. We think you're a scumbag. That's what we think. Exactly. So he said that they met up at the party and agreed to take a ride out to Polecat Beach. He said once they got there, they engaged in consensual sex in the backseat of her car. So she's not interested in him, and she went out with a guy long-term, didn't have sex with him, proudly a virgin, all this shit. But she said, you know what? I'm going to fuck this guy who I don't really like in the backseat of his car. That's how I'll lose it.
A gal who clearly holds her virginity and her first time in regard of like
she probably wants it to be special.
Polecat Beach, please.
Polecat Beach, backseat of an 89 Pontiac.
Yeah.
Literally an 89 Pontiac.
Polecat sounds like a slang term for a stripper in the first place. Like a derogatory term for a stripper.
When I first saw Polecat Beach, I thought it was a strip club. And then in the context of it, I was like, oh, that's an actual beach. I thought it was a strip club, Polecat Beach. And there's like sand on the stage too. You know what I mean? That's how they do it.
It sounds derogatory. Like you would call, what is she, some sort of fucking polecat?
Yeah, she's a polecat, that one. I met her on the pole. She's a polecat. So... that's what he says. He said they engaged in consensual sex in the backseat of his car. He said when they were finished, Everything seemed fine. Everybody was satiated and happy. And then he said, out of nowhere, Barry just started hitting him in the back of the head with a beer bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, that fits her character, right? All of this does. She's going to fuck
like
this
the
guy in the back
craziest-
seat and then just attack him with a beer bottle like Eileen Wuornos or something. Yeah, that's who she is. So, yeah, he said he was dazed. He's being bashed with an unprovoked attack. So he said he just grabbed his knife and just was like, oh, my God. He said he had to stab her because she was out of control, just swinging a beer bottle at her, screaming like a banshee, fucking bashing him in the head with a beer bottle in close quarters. I got no choice. I had to stab her. So he said, I thought you'd blame me, obviously, for it. You know, it didn't look good.
Right.
And all. So I hit her body, you know, because that's what you do when you get self-defense fights. You hide the body. Right. And then, you know, I just made up this story because I knew I was coming home with blood all over me, so I had to make something up. So he said I went back to my dorm and I made up the story, told my friends there that a random guy assaulted me and I had to do that and had to kill him. So they said, well, would you be willing to take us to the site where this all happened? And he said, okay, fine. So now one of the interesting things here is that she has taken a lot of self-defense classes, by the way.
Okay, so she can defend herself, yeah.
She's only like 100 pounds, but she's taken a lot of defense classes and knows some tricks of the trade here. So a lot of these marks are because she was not going down easy. That's the thing, not going down at all. So let's find out if he's telling the truth. They go, it's Levi and the detectives in one car and the prosecutor in another car driving out there.
You don't want to go for car rides with the prosecutor. You're in trouble.
No, this is quite the caravan here. Yeah. This is a scary caravan. So they went off the back roads in the middle of the night looking for the turnoff that he described. They kept coming up empty time and time. They kept going to where he would say, and there's no turnoff, like he said. So after a while, they're like, you're full of shit.
You're lying to us. Why?
You're lying about where the fuck you're taking us. That's it. Like, you're not telling us the goddamn truth here. So this is a wild goose chase. And these people have been up all night, and they know that this guy is covered in a teenage girl's blood. So they have no patience for his bullshit at this point. So they ended up, they call the driver of the car that Colin is in, and said, the prosecutor's back there, and gets pissed off and says, fucking pull over. Pull these cars over here.
Yeah.
I'm talking to this guy now. So the prosecutor comes up to talk to him. Yeah. This is crazy. Normally, if you kill somebody, 6 hours later, you won't be getting yelled at by the prosecutor on the side of the road. Like, that's a good... Things happen fast in Wyoming.
They usually reserve that for a judge to tell him what he can and cannot yell at you about.
No shit. So she said she called upon every ounce of patience she could gather, basically, to try to get through to him. And she said, look, we're not playing fucking games anymore. Either you're going to help us or you're not. And if you're not, we're going to make it real difficult for you. Yeah. And so basically he just said, okay, fine. And then from then he's told them exactly where the body was, and they went right to it. They wasted hours driving around.
It just took her to say, stop it. And he goes, fine.
Fine. Yeah. Basically, yeah. I'm not taking any more. Just treat him like a child, basically. You're going to be in trouble, mister. And he's like, okay. So they find her at a place it's an area known as The Bench. It's about 16 miles away from the college. It's an area north of Powell, and it's just like flats, sagebrush flats north of Powell, it's called. So the middle of nowhere where kids go to fucking drink beer.
Yeah.
The mirror should reflect your inner confidence at every age. That's why supermodel and entrepreneur Cindy Crawford partnered with renowned cosmetic specialist Dr. Sabag to create Meaningful Beauty, a skincare system designed to help women look and feel their absolute best. At the heart of this breakthrough formula lies a unique secret, a rare melon found only in the south of France, packed with powerful antioxidants. The 7-piece deluxe face and neck skincare system includes everything from the revolutionary youth-activating melon serum to the age recovery night cream with retinol. Over 5 million women have discovered Meaningful Beauty, with clinical studies showing remarkable results in skin firmness, elasticity, and hydration. Every purchase comes with a 60-day satisfaction guarantee. Tomorrow's gorgeous starts today. Go to meaningfulbeauty.com/skincare to receive 25% off and get the Targeted Treatment Duo gift set for free. Go to meaningfulbeauty.com/skincare to receive 25% off and get the Targeted Treatment Duo gift set for free. meaningfulbeauty.com/skincare.
Claude is the AI assistant from Anthropic that millions of people have turned to just because it feels different. We've all tried AIs that come across a little robotic, but Claude gets it when it comes to empathy and emotional intelligence. That's why Claude has become the if you know companion for tasks like vision boarding, self-reflection, planning a move to a new city, plotting out scenarios for a big life decision, and more. Give Claude a try for free at Claude.com. That's CLAUDE.com. And let us know how you feel the difference.
You know those creepy stories that give you goosebumps? The ones that make you really question what's real? Well, what if I told you that some of the strangest, darkest, and most mysterious stories are not found in haunted houses or abandoned forests, but instead in hospital rooms and doctors' offices? Hi, I'm Mr. Ballin, the host of Mr. Ballin's Medical Mysteries, and each week on my podcast, you can expect to hear stories about bizarre illnesses no one can explain, miraculous recoveries that shouldn't have happened, and cases so baffling they stumped even the best doctors. So if you crave totally true and thoroughly twisted horror stories and mysteries, Mr. Ballin's Medical Mysteries should be your new go-to weekly show. Listen to Mr. Ballin's Medical Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
That's all. Every town has one. So they find poor Barry here. She is partially clothed and in the sagebrush out there, just lying there. Now, it was obvious when they see her that this was not oh my God, I got hit in the head with a beer bottle and had to stab her to save myself once. She is absolutely cut to fucking ribbons, man. It's vicious. It's horrifying. You know it by the amount of blood he was covered in. That this is, it's horrifying. Extensive bruising to her face, and head. So beat this fucking poor girl. Beat her. In addition to that, numerous stab wounds evident on her torso, and her throat had been sliced from ear to ear with such ferocity that she was nearly decapitated. Right. Like Nicole Brown Simpson, essentially. Yeah. Multiple slashes, by the way.
Oh, really? Not just one.
Frenzy of slashes.
What the shit is his problem?
And they determined that she was also violently raped before that as well. So it couldn't have been any worse for this poor fucking girl.
Why in the fuck?
Her hands and arms were covered with defensive wounds. Her fingernails were broken off. She fought hard. Her hands are sliced to shit. She grabbed the knife blade several times to try to defend herself. Because that's in self-defense what they taught her. It was, fuck, you lose a finger, but you don't get killed, basically. So it's fucking horrifying. These people they want to murder this kid in the sagebrush, obviously. This is disturbing. So they call Mom the next morning after they find poor Barry. And Mom says, this is the Powell police chief, said, I remember trying to be very careful. But she said, listen, I'm a nuts and bolts type of person. I need you to tell me what happened and what you saw.
Mom? Oh, God.
The mom said that. Listen, don't fucking dance around it. Tell me how bad it is, basically. So he explained what they pieced together and described what he saw when he got out there, and that's what she wanted to know. So anyway, he told police that after that, they said, dude, Levi, what you said happened didn't happen. Look what you did to this fucking girl. And he said, okay, fine, this is what happened. He said, I drove her out here about 16 miles north of Powell. When I got there, she was upset, and she got out of the car and started to walk back to town on foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, I told you no, and I will walk 16 miles. Fuck you. That's the type in the middle of the night.
She screamed for the last 10 miles to turn around. And he didn't.
Exactly. Well, he fucking sped at 65 miles an hour, probably.
Yeah.
So he said he had a hunting knife in his car, and he put the knife in his back pocket and chased after her. He said he tackled her and raped her, used his he said he bit her to force her to submit to it. He was biting her. He used his teeth. He also sliced up her face to get her to stop struggling.
God.
Was slicing up her face. It's fucking disgusting. Absolutely goddamn fucking disgusting. So, yeah. So he said that he went after her and he threw her on the ground and did it. And he said after that, he said that he admitted he beat her, he raped her. He claimed that he never meant to kill her, he said. And he said
you cut a woman's face, there's no turning back because you
exactly.
She's not going to just go back to school and be like nothing happened.
You've maimed her now. Yeah,
Yes.
This is crazy shit. So he justified his actions by saying he only stabbed her because she wouldn't stop fighting back. Oh, gee, yeah. She didn't want to get raped. That's poor guy. What a pain in the ass. You can't even fucking wow. So. This is obviously fucking disturbing. He's not a big guy, but he's athletic. He's a middle linebacker, and that's why I told you about that kind of thing. That's why he can chase her down and tackle her, and that's why I said, yeah, I'll give you these stats for no reason. He's good at it. Yep. He's good at it. She weighed like 105 pounds, and that's crazy. I guess when she continued to fight, he said he pinned her hands to the ground with his knees and cut her again, and then said he said that he became enraged by the sound of the breaths that she was making. Her breathing enraged him to the point where he thought, to him, it was an act of defiance, he said, that she was doing that. So he's just kept slashing her throat, he said, to get her to stop breathing. My God. Just ear to ear, back and forth. This is horrifying. This is Ted Bundy shit, man.
And that's the first time this guy did. I mean, obviously, he's not good at it. He's covered in blood, but he's capable of this. That's terrible.
He's had 2 other women accuse him, and but this is an escalation. That's all. The last woman, what happened? He tried to go after her, and he got caught. So he realized, if you rape somebody, you have to kill them. Yep. So that's unbelievable, man. They said he had a reputation for being a charmer and somehow managed to talk her into leaving with him. And I'm sure it was, I need help doing something for 5 minutes, So that, as she said, and everybody said they were cordial, so she wouldn't have had any reason to suspect he was going to attack her or anything like that. She's at college. These are all college students. Everybody knows them. They both know each other. Sure. You would never think that. So they charge him with first-degree murder, first-degree sexual assault, and later on kidnapping as well, which obviously here he's held on a $1 million bond and or without bond on the murder and $1 million bond on the sexual assault. So you're not going anywhere, Chief. The murder charge carries a maximum penalty of death, and the sexual assault charge carries a penalty of up to 50 years in prison. So he's fucked. Yeah, He's fucked himself good, and I'm happy for it. So I'm not happy that what happened, but I'm happy that they caught him. So they said this wasn't the first murder they've ever had around here, but the first one with this kind of brutality. Like this is a small town, man. Her head's nearly cut off. This is fucking wild. One of the police officers said, "Man, you talk about a sucker punch to people's morale." They said the whole town, they literally started locking their doors at that point. This was the breaking point where a small farming town went from, hey, everybody knows everybody, we all wave from our porches, to lock them up, roll them up, lock them down.
I mean, someone is capable of that in town, but he is arrested, and we're still going to lock him because who knows if anybody else in town
we
is
know it
capable of that
exists.
shit. Yeah.
Now we found out it exists. So
yeah.
Now, teachers and other people that knew Levi said that this was not the Levi they knew. Right. This is crazy. One of the former principal of his high school said, "I never saw that side to Levi. How can you think you know someone and see something like this happen?" Right. And the sheriff said it's really taken a toll on the community. He was a pretty popular kid.
I believe it. Yeah.
He was a homecoming king and everything else. More than 300 students attended a campus memorial after the ceremony. They had a little ceremony for Barry's death there. Many of the kids, too, drove over 300 miles to Riverton for her funeral as well. Sure, yeah. She made an impact on people pretty quick here. The president at Northwest penned letters to parents reassuring them that, everything's fine. Everything's good. Right. It was a one-off thing. We got the guy. I guess hundreds of people on campus wore purple ribbons and a photo of her also. They had these purple ribbons with a picture of her on there. And emboldened by this death, 8 women at the college came forward to report they'd been raped in the last month. Not by Levi, by other people, but they were too scared to come forward. And they said, nope, this is what happens. Now they kill people the next time. And they came forward and reported what had happened. So this ended up emboldening a lot of people. So that's good, in a good way. One of the ladies who came forward here agrees to press charges against Levi as well because he attacked her as well. Mm-hmm. She learned of the murder and then said, oh my God, I got to tell them what happened to me. This was 2 months before the murder. He coaxed her into his 1989 Pontiac by telling her it was all computerized, quote unquote, an 89 Pontiac. I know he had a
computer.
Like digital speedometer is what he's talking. What other computerized could be in 1989?
If it's not the
There's
fucking
Pong
Knight
in there.
Rider Pontiac.
Yeah. There's Pac-Man in the dashboard. What are we talking about here?
Was that a Firebird? It was a Firebird, wasn't it? Or was it a Camaro?
I don't know. It's just 89 Pontiac. Either way.
I mean the Knight Rider.
It was a Trans Am.
It was a Firebird. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking Firebird, totally. Yeah, I loved that shit when I was a kid. Love the Knight Rider car.
If it wasn't that, then it wasn't computerized, friend.
Did it talk to you?
If
Levi.
it's not Kit, then get the fuck out of that car.
Levi, stop raping these women. Levi,
you're going to prison.
Levi, you have blood all over you. Please stop with the rape.
You're staining the interior.
Levi, my interior is covered in viscera. So I guess when he said, yeah, no, look in it. And she was looking in the car. This is like a fucking, you wouldn't believe that a human being would actually do this.
Right.
She was looking in the car. When she got close to the car, he shoved her inside, trapped her in there, and drove to a remote location. This is crazy.
Shit.
That's straight up kidnapping. That's not even, I charmed him into the car. Even Ted Bundy tried to charm them into the car. He didn't fucking shove them into the car for the most part. I mean, that was part of the game for him. So when she resists, and then he tried to have sex with her in the car. When she resisted and ran away, he tackled her, bit her neck, which is exactly what he did to fucking Barry. So this is what he does. He just escalated. And bit her neck and fucking raped her.
Yeah.
And later threatened to, quote, when it was over, he said he would hunt her down and kill her if she went to the police.
Yeah, now we believe
and
him.
She believed him at the time. And now that he's locked up, though, now she's not afraid of him anymore, and she comes forward. So that's good. Oh, and one more. By the way. This is, again, when this reaches the public, a woman calls the cops to say she had been attacked by him in 1995, almost exactly a year to the day before Barry's murder. The caller said that she had met Levi in a bar. Is he 17 years old?
Yeah, what's going on?
And I don't know what's going on up here in Wyoming, man. And the two hit it off. She thought he was harmless and accepted his offer to go for a drive, which is... He's perfecting. See what I mean? He's getting it.
He's
wow. Once they reached the outskirts of town, his demeanor completely changed. You got the Bundy thing where he turns and his eyes are different colors now. Wasn't a friendly kid anymore. Now all of a sudden he told her, we're going to have sex now.
Oh, boy.
In a very matter-of-fact way that was not, wasn't cute or
you don't
like
have a choice.
Wasn't like, hey, what we're going to do right now, winky-de-wink. It was none of that shit. It was...
No.
We're going to have sex now. So, she was taken aback and she told him that they will not be having sex now, actually. So he pulled a gun out, held it to her fucking head and ordered her to strip.
My God.
He then raped her. While raping her, what did you think he was doing?
Yeah.
Biting her face and biting her arms. She said like a rabid animal, like breaking the skin, ripping her apart. When it was over, he calmly told her that he would kill her and her whole family if she ever said anything to anybody about what just happened. And she said she thought this guy seems sick as fuck. He's capable of anything. So she didn't come forward until she learned he was in police custody as well. This guy's a fucking monster. Serial
He's
killer.
dangerous.
He would have been a serial killer. If he got away with this, he would have gotten worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
Absolutely. So will there be a trial here? Well, he waived a preliminary hearing. Yeah, he waived a preliminary hearing, which lets the prosecutors skip their obligation to present the evidence to basically to go to district court. And it's a formality. He goes, I know you have enough evidence. Fine. So it would have went to trial, obviously, because there's all this fucking evidence, and he admitted to it. So they're talking about a potential plea deal where he may broker, basically, I won't go to trial, which is going to cost the state a lot of fucking money if I don't get the death penalty. That'll be the deal that they're making.
It's the only way they're not gonna.
That's it. Otherwise, they're gonna a bunch of cowboys. They're gonna fry this fucking kid if they don't beat him to death first. So.
They
Jesus.
might let their horses beat him to death.
they might draw and quarter this man. So a spokesman in the Wyoming Attorney General's office said the murder trials can cost in the excess of millions of dollars, which the state just doesn't have. There's 500,000 people here, especially if the prosecutors are speaking the death penalty and then all the appeals that'll follow. This is going to cost the state more than they spend on anything except snow removal and like bison carcass moving out of the road when they've been hit by a truck.
Just get that wily horse from the Wyoming flag and get it to do some fucking Brodies over his face.
Yeah, we could do that maybe. So what this does here is it waives that requirement by the prosecutors, and they said no plea agreement has been reached, but they're talking about it. They said it had been in Collins' best interest to waive the preliminary hearing, noting that the burden of proof in the hearing is more lenient than in an actual trial, so it wouldn't have helped him anyway. So they decide that they are going to plea bargain.
Yeah.
He's going to plead guilty. They're not going to kill him. That's how this is going to work now. He's going to plead guilty to everything, kidnapping, rape.
Really?
Kidnapping of the other woman as well. It's all on the table here. So everything that happened in this state. So the Bryant family speaks at the sentencing. Sharon gets to speak. She said she was hoping for a sign of remorse from him. As she said, she's trying to beat him up with words, basically. That's all she can do. She read from a prepared statement. She assured Levi that his hell on earth had just begun and that she hopes his memories and nightmares are haunted by the sounds of her dying. So then the prosecutor read a statement from Ryan, who is her 16-year-old brother. By the way, this is happening in November, literally a month and a half after the murder. He is already pleading.
Boy, it's over.
Well, like in most states, to get on the docket takes forever. It's Wyoming. Docket's wide open.
Yeah.
There's tumbleweeds blowing through the courtroom. Just a judge sitting there waiting for you to fuck up so he can do something because they're bored.
They open the ledger and it's dusty.
That's where are we? When was the last time we were here? 87. Jesus Christ.
The clerk's ribbon on her stenographer is all dried out.
Dry. Yeah, it's like an Arizona windshield wiper. You go to use it, it just breaks apart into pieces.
She presses the shorthand keys over and over again to get one note.
Come on, man. Hold on. Shut the fuck up for a minute. I'm trying to type this in. Wait. Slow down.
Backspace, backspace.
Slow down. So Ryan said, this is a very weird comment. This family's comments are odd. Quote, I always knew I'd have to bury her, but not this soon. Why did you know you have to bury? She's 2 years older. It's not like she's 30 years older than him. I knew she'd go before me. You're the same age, essentially.
She's got a raging heroin addiction, and she smokes cigarettes after cigarette after cigarette.
Man, and this poor kid, too. He loves his sister.
Yeah.
And this sucks. He said also, I hope and know you will be haunted by the spirit of my sister.
Attaboy. Yeah.
Nice. She's an aggressive ghost now. I like that.
I had a room right next to her. She haunted me. You are in so much trouble, man.
We've heard a lot of these statements, from victim impact statements. Have we ever heard that one before? That's
both
awesome.
Relatives right back to back are like, dude, you're in so much trouble.
Yeah.
She's going to be pissed.
I've never heard anyone wish haunting from like a spirit. That's awesome. Ryan, that's a cool thing to do, dude. At 16, you did better than anyone else has done in any court we've ever covered. Oh,
she's going to be so mad.
My God. So Members of Levi's family wrote letters to the judge begging for leniency. One of his former teachers told the news media that he remembered Levi as a polite, well-mannered young man. Well, now he's a biting, stabbing rapist, so who cares?
And
the judge,
we're not going to kill him. That's as lenient as it gets.
Wow. The judge said, not only fuck leniency, he said, I actually strongly considered rejecting the plea agreement to make sure that you get the prospect of the death penalty. He said, I honestly said, I almost said, fuck that. I want to kill this kid. So he said, in this case, even if it were swift and certain, the death penalty would be too easy. You have taken away from the enjoyment of life of thousands of people. You are not fit to mingle among the good and decent people of our society. Called him a predator, cold-blooded, and even more despicable than his series of crimes, and said, it is the expectation of this court that you will be imprisoned for the rest of your days. You, sir, may fuck off 3 consecutive life sentences, plus I think 20 years or some shit on top of that. Fuck you.
It's like in Wyoming, it's probably 85 years for a life sentence.
Yeah. He is fucked, basically.
It's trouble.
And up there, that parole board doesn't hear a lot of crazy stories like this. You're going to be the worst guy they talk to every year. They're going to go,
this
it's going to be
story
a short meeting.
This story would fuck up the L.A. County parole board. So
yes, this
is going to be real bad in Wyoming.
This sentence was imposed less than 2 months from the time the crime was committed. There's no doubts about the sentence, no lengthy appeals process. It was swift and certain. Old West justice, that is.
That's as speedy as the Constitution offers.
That is wild. Yeah, dude. December 22nd, the next year, he asks for a sentence reduction.
Really?
But guess who that's up to? The original judge who wanted him murdered before his eyes. This judge denied the sentence reduction and told Colin at a sentencing hearing that he considered, I said, I didn't even want to take this fucking plea agreement. And he said, I thought execution was too easy for you. Think I'm going to let your shit down? The college also, they installed emergency phones throughout the campus, and this brought them into the 21st century as far as protecting the kids. 2022, one of her friends, or the resident advisor, I think, from when she was in college, and her mom end up getting money together from donors to put a memorial bench in Powell.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah, it's a nice memorial bench with her picture on it and her years, and it says Strawberry. It's very, very, very nice. So they got that done in 2022, finally.
God damn.
And then her mom says, Sharon says, I feel like there was some healing that didn't take place many years ago. I really feel like this is something they needed. The space is a memorial to Berry, but it's also an icon for all people who have been removed from life unjustly. And then the next year, Sharon dies.
Oh, shit.
So she lived for that, and then 2023, she died. Let's see where they buried Berry. The Berry burial is at Mountain View Cemetery in Riverton, Wyoming. And it looks like dipshit Levi here is currently incarcerated at the Wyoming Medium Correctional Institution in Torrington, where he's involved in a dog training program. Oh, isn't that fucking nice?
That's probably the nicest thing in the medium security.
Ugh,
right?
What a cunt. Yeah, fuck him. And then there is also a Berry Bryant Memorial Scholarship Endowment at Northwest College as well. And this was covered on a TV show. What is it? What the hell is this? Evil Lives Here. That's what it is. Yeah. The Dark Road episode. So there you go, everybody. There is Wyoming. Hope you enjoyed Powell, Wyoming. Crazy shit, obviously. Swift fucking justice. Wow. If you enjoy that episode and Swift Justice, please give a nice review on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. Helps tremendously. You can really help the show. You can also help the show by going to shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows, virtual live show, April 19th. It's the 420 virtual live show. Available for 2 weeks after that to buy, purchase, watch, do whatever the fuck you want with, just like a regular live show, but right in your living room. I'm going to get Jimmy Superstone. Let's do it. Also, Chicago, May, 18th, I think. Chicago at the Riviera. Get your tickets there. definitely do that. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com, Patreon.com/crime and sports. Tons of bonus episodes. Anybody $5 a month or above. This week, Crime and Sports, Spanish Paralympic team where nobody was actually disabled, but they won the gold. Good for them. Small Town Murder, American Nightmare, one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. It's a Netflix on documentary on Netflix. Check that out. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And you get a shout out at the end of the regular show. Want to follow us on social media? ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com has drop-down menus. Take you anywhere you want to go. That said, until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Are you captivated by the dark and mysterious world of true crime? Wondery Plus offers you the ultimate true crime experience with early access to new episodes, exclusive content, and a seamless ad-free listening journey. With Wondery Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of podcasts, including more than 50 true crime series like Dr. Death, the shocking true story of a trusted surgeon who brought unimaginable pain and suffering to his patients.
This was not an operation that was performed. This was attempted murder.
And there's Morbid, the hit podcast that's a lighthearted nightmare. With Wondery Plus, you get access to exclusive bonus content too, allowing you to dive deeper into the cases you love. Like in Suspect, where an ordinary Halloween party turned into a terrifying murder mystery that left its mark on the community.
This case is one of those roller coaster rides where it's like, no, he did it for sure. No, for sure he did it.
Each story is crafted to keep you enthralled, revealing the complexities and motivations behind every crime. Subscribe to Wondery Plus on the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify today. Unlock the door to a world of true crime like never before. With Wondery Plus, the best true crime stories are always at your fingertips.